Welcome to the 226th episode of News Dump, where we run through the hottest topics in the Lewis County news scene and discuss. I'm local man Aaron VanTuyl, joined as always by Chronicle Executive Editor-in-Chief Eric Schwartz and Chronicle Photojournalist-in-Chief, kind of, Kody Christen.
That's Ridley. She's the boss down there.
Executive photographer Kody Christen. We're also joined.
Assistant to the photographer Kody Christen. I'm just joking, Kody.
No.
Cody's great.
No one is anyone's boss.
We're also joined in spirit by sponsors Summit Funding, Shayless Outfitters, and the Roof Doctor. Any preambles? I don't have the Tesla vandalism on the notes because it occurred today?
Overnight,
night?
yeah. Well, one of them was overnight in Centralia, and then earlier this month in Chehalis, which we were not aware of. I think it got reported just as malicious mischief on the police logs. But yeah, I mean, what was the message on there?
Something about Nazis?
It was
something like kill Elon.
The top line
Nazi
was burn
cars.
Nazi cars, and the bottom said kill Elon.
According to the Centralia Police Department, it is under investigation, as is the Chehalis case, and the FBI is involved.
Why is the FBI involved? Because it says kill Elon?
I think it's because it's been happening at EV stations throughout Washington and Oregon, and it's kind of cross state lines issue. So I think it's part of like a broader investigation, but I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, they'll get to the bottom of it, I'm sure.
They protect those Teslas.
Yeah.
Because I care about the environment, you see.
The Tesla electrification stations.
Yes.
We've got one right here, actually. It's right up there, below the TV.
Just the outlet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's what that is.
Plug your car in right here.
Supercharger. You get it up the stairs.
Yeah.
Run a cord, I guess.
Yeah. All right, shall we get to the news?
Yeah, one other preamble, though, because you don't have it on the list. Cody had probably the coolest assignment of the week. He went up to Mount St. Helens and...
Snowmobiling Club takes blind students on the ride of a lifetime at Mount St. Helens? I do.
Go.
I was going to give Cody's flowers.
Okay, never mind. We'll wait. Let's save it for later. Nice little teaser there for the listeners.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Any other big preambles?
No.
Has any updates on any real estate updates you want to let us know about?
Oh, no, the podcast remains on the market.
Okay.
$1.2 million is still the firm.
I heard after our last episode, the price actually went up to 1.25.
1.25. Oh, because it was
so much interest.
It was so good. People were like, damn.
Throwing so much heat. But to your point about the Chronicle building sale, there is a for sale sign on the sign now.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about where it turns out.
What if the price started fluctuating with like the performance of our podcast? Not like the listens or anything, but just like if the episode was good, the price goes up.
Man, remember that time we tried to do it with no notes whatsoever or talking? That was the worst ever.
Yeah.
It was a real slog. I think I never even put that one up online, at least on Cronline. It went to all the
Was that the
other
one where
sites.
Cody left early? He was like, fuck
I
you guys.
think so, yeah. I was just like, this isn't... There's a bad vibe about that episode. I don't know what it was.
I think you guys were just like, I think I had an assignment and you guys were just dissing me for no reason. You were both just in bad moods.
That doesn't sound like me.
Yeah, I don't know. What are you talking about?
Oh, wait, it was the episode when the booze ran out. I remember.
Booze? What?
I remember now.
How dare you?
It was an awful podcast.
This is a dry affair.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. All right, how about, we've got some of the news in here is really just not
Not great.
Humorous.
No, I gotta say, this has been a pretty rough week in terms of crime stories, specifically this top item that you have on here. And normally, not really news dumpy, but it is kind of what everybody's talking about right now. And I think, we can go through it.
All right, so court documents reveal the details of brutal Winlock murders. The suspect who is in custody and appeared in court earlier this week is Robert Chandler, 35 years old, of Toledo. He's accused of killing two people, Kimberly Torres and Donald Piccolo, in Winlock with a sword. One of them was beheaded. Against the advice of a judge and his defense attorney to not discuss the details of the case, Chandler asserted his innocence in court on Monday, saying, "By the time you find out who really did it, you're really going to be kicking yourselves in the ass." Holy shit.
Yeah, it's a messed up story. The murder weapons, two swords. One of the victims was decapitated. The other one had limbs removed. Just really, really awful, disgusting, horrible crime. I'm glad that an arrest has been made, as you mentioned. Robert Eugene Chandler, 35, of Toledo. Emily, I think, did a good job on the story, as much so as you can. I hope people understand, and they probably don't, because you don't really think of that. We don't enjoy writing up stories like this, but when there is a murder, there's a pretty standard and practical way of going about it, and that's just saying what's in the charging documents.
Yeah.
Obviously, none of us investigated it. We weren't inside. but I think the public has a right and deserves to know when these investigations happen and what they yield. And we'll see what happens in the court system. But obviously, he's been charged with murder and a number of other crimes. And we will follow it through as it goes. But definitely one of the most horrific, horrible crimes to be committed in Lewis County in recent memory.
All right. Next item. Second Operation Adoption event sees 11 dogs adopted and more fosters to volunteer for Red Bros Animal Rescue. This was at the Veterans Memorial Museum on Saturday. It's the second time they've done it. They adopted out 9 dogs last time, 11 this time. It's the brainchild of Christy Popeno. Popeno?
Yeah.
A peer counselor at Veterans Journey Forward. Sounds like a cool deal.
Yeah, that was their, as you said, second one. They're going to plan to do one quarterly, and more dogs were adopted at this one than at the last one, so it seems to be building. And I still think you need to stop being a coward and go get yourself a dog, Aaron. like a basset hound or something, you know?
Don't you have a mole problem, you said, in your garden?
I'm courting an owl.
How's that courtship going, by the way?
I got the owl boxes up in the tree. Now we play the waiting game. I just sit by the side of the house now and kind of put out the vibe and wait for an owl to fly by and be like, I got some space available.
What's the success rate on these owl boxes based upon your research? Like, you just throw a box out there and an owl shows up?
No research.
Well, I heard about this from a bartender in Olympia who heard me discussing my problem with somebody and was like...
Just imagine you up there ranting about your moles.
And he was like, sir, what you need is an owl box. And I was like, what the hell are you talking about? And so that turned me onto it. And it sounds like you throw a box up there and the owls know what to look for if you throw it in the right spot.
Mm-hmm. The bartender definitly works for the owls. Just getting free real estate.
he's actually an owl.
Yeah, he's undercover.
You put the owl box up in a tree, like away from power lines, away from the streets, near an open field, and apparently owls will seek it out and just take up residence in there.
All right. Well,
so I will let you know.
I look forward to weekly updates on the owl attraction.
Yeah. How many days without an owl are you? Now that the box is
2? Well, I don't know. I haven't checked it today. I've been out of the house all day. Maybe I'll get home and there will be an owl waiting for me.
Whole family.
I'd walk in and
this
the owl's
isn't going to work. This is a dumb idea.
Hey, don't
shut your mouth.
It's a horrible idea.
Shut up. Give it some time.
What did you do to court rats in your backyard?
I took care of it. It's a garden. They loved it.
I'm going to walk in and there's just going to be an owl on the couch drinking a beer and be like, oh, how was work, loser? And be like, oh, hey, buddy.
I hope they get in, they get real nice and comfortable, you get comfortable, and then they rob you blind.
Just flying away with my riches.
I'll see you later.
Anyway, maybe I need a dog one of these days. Next item, Madeline Scalisi crowned 63rd Miss Lewis County.
Here.
And Haley Sturdivant becomes the 2nd Miss Lewis County's teen.
2 full applauses from the studio audience. How about that?
They're lovely of them.
Going crazy today.
The theme of this year's program was Sisters of the Sash, celebrating the sisterhood that exists between generations of winners and the new bond between the Miss Lewis County and a Miss Lewis County's teen winners. Scalisi is a freshman at CC. Her talent was her story, a spoken word act written and performed to express and find empowerment in an element of their own narrative. Her community service initiative is Live Better, Longer, Blue Zones. And her LC Shining Star is McKenna Ziotti of Chehalis. Sturdivant is a student at WF West, and her talent was speed painting. Her community service initiative is Nourishing Hope, empowering communities through healthy food access. And her LC Shining Star is Autumn Tomes Irby of Centralia. I got to tell you, out of those 2 talents, speed painting.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty sick. Cody, you were there.
The speed painting was pretty cool, actually. It was, I think they had like a minute 30 each to do their talent portion. And she had a little pre-recorded kind of commentating of it that she did herself. So that played over while she was painting real fast. And she got done, and it just looked like a big mess. And then everyone's like, oh, what's going on? This is terrible. And then she flipped it over to the surprise of the audience and myself. My mind was blown, and it was a portrait of Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's not bad.
It was pretty cool.
So she painted it upside down.
Yes, in like a minute 30, she painted it upside down.
That's a good talent.
It was a good talent, yeah. I was
pretty
pretty impressed.
That's good. Yeah.
How was Scalisi's presentation? That good.
I'm speechless. I'll let you know when I remember.
You were too busy shooting.
I was really busy trying to get.
I think you turned in close to
shots.
70 photos from that.
Yeah, and I just uploaded more on the photo website earlier.
Oh, really?
So if you're listening and you have photos you'd like to purchase from Miss Lewis County, they are.
So those are exclusive beyond what's attached to the article
Yes.
online.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Exclusive, as in, I was too tired to put
Photographer's
cut.
cut, huh?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Cody's
like
cut.
it.
Yeah.
Can you guys explain what is an LC Shining Star? Is that a new thing? I'm not.
Yeah,
familiar
that
with
was like they each paired with like a elementary aged student, like Little Miss Friendly
okay.
was one of
All
them,
right.
like
I
that
gotcha.
type of thing. Little Miss Apple Harvest or whatever,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
The next generation of Miss Lewis County contestants.
The young
Pageanteers.
sisters of the sash, Aaron.
All right. I got you.
Yeah.
Scalisi was kind of my want to win here just because Dr. Scalisi and her mother has delivered all 3 of my children.
All right.
Yeah.
Her mother, as I mentioned yesterday, a stork.
No. Not a bird.
Anyway, anything else on Miss Lewis County? Overall, Cody, how would you rate the program?
They did a great job. I thought it was pretty cool. The whole place was sold out, and from what I understand, it's pretty popular every year, and they did a good job keeping it entertaining. It was 3.5 hours long.
Yeah, it is a long
It was
program.
pretty long. I think maybe there was some room to chop it down, but I
No.
won't be too critical of
No,
it.
don't be too critical. We almost had a real
do.
conundrum because I was watching the ADNA state championship game with Aaron, and we were almost confronted. It's never happened before of having a state champion and a Miss Lewis County, which in the past have both guaranteed front page coverage. But we
Oh,
would have had to
really?
make a choice in
Didn't
that
that
case.
happen last year?
I don't think it happened last year.
Was it a different weekend last year?
I think it was a different weekend. I could
Okay.
be wrong. I don't remember being presented with this as the person.
I
who
mean,
designs the
there
pages.
were some creative options.
Yeah.
Had Adna won, you could have just photoshopped Carson Freeman into the holding with the sash.
Yeah.
And then,
Well, in InDesign
misspoken.
terms, I was thinking we could just do the Adna and then a directional feather down into the photo of Miss Lewis County, kind of like an anamorphing of
Yes.
the news. State title, oh no, Miss Lewis County,
people would
2025.
have been furious.
It would have looked horrible. So, I mean, I wish we had been faced with that conundrum. Go Adna. But
Yeah, brutal.
alas,
You know what? They played hard. I felt like they got jobbed a little bit.
they did. They got jobbed. They got
Yeah.
jobbed on the late charge calls.
Did you guys actually watch it?
Yeah, we did. Watch the whole thing.
I tried for a while to get it on my phone on KMNT Country to listen to it during Miss Lewis County, and as soon as I finally got it to work with the internet in there, the first thing I heard Bob Dow say was, "This is really unfortunate for the Adna Pirates." I was like, "Oh
yeah,
man."
Freeman's fifth foul was. Look,
Yeah, I saw the replay of it.
You don't foul out the best player in the tournament in overtime of the championship game on that.
Yeah.
Feet weren't set.
Yeah. Anyway.
Bob Dow, though, great on the call. I made
Yes,
sure
always.
the Chronicle gave him a shout out.
Bob Dow's
yeah.
the voice of my childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been at it forever. He's great.
There
Hell of
does
a
seem
guy.
like a bit of a brotherhood with KLA. They go to all these things too. It's like the only other local media I think that goes.
Yeah,
and
we've
covers
always
this stuff.
had a pretty good working relationship with those guys.
Yeah.
All right, next item.
And they'll be back for softball.
I don't know. What a take.
What are they, 3 in a row?
How many have they won in a row? 2?
2 in a row, I think.
2 in a row, but they won the
back-to-back.
last tournament before that too.
Yeah, not counting the COVID tournament, I think they're like 3 or 4 or something like that.
Yeah, they're okay.
Or like 3 in 5 years.
They're Dees.
Jeez. Going for a 3-peat, yeah.
Probably be team of the year at the Chronicle Sports Awards.
It's just,
Never know.
You never know. Anything could happen.
Never know.
All right, Cody. Snowmobiling Club takes blind students on the ride of a lifetime at Mount St. Helens. This is the Mount St. Helens track riders, and they took a group of kids from the Washington State School for the Blind on a trip. You were there.
I was.
Was it sick?
It was really sick, yeah. I've never been on a snowmobile before, and they were like, we have extra sleds if you want to take one up. And I was like, you mean like a snowmobile? And they looked at me like I'm stupid because that's the lingo they use. And they were
Hell
like,
yeah.
and they were like, yeah, do you want to drive one? And I was like, hell yeah, I do. So they gave me a helmet and the goggles, and I didn't go very fast because I had my cameras on me, and I was a little worried I'd have to explain to Chad that I lost the camera snowmobiling up a mountain.
We all know Chad,
which
would
is
have just
much
been
cooler.
furious.
Which is much cooler than losing them in a kayak in a river. But
Absolutely. You're 100% correct.
Chad and Corley have accepted a lot of losses on behalf of the newsroom over the last 4 years.
Yeah. Well, anyway, how I got connected with them is you were saying that you've always wanted to do a story about the snowmobile.
Yeah, it was
Mount
all
St.
you.
Helens
I made a comment to you, and you tracked it down.
You did. Well, you mentioned that you've been hiking on Mount St. Helens before, and they just blow right by you on
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I've summited the mountain, Cody. It's not a big deal.
Deliver
Aaron's
yourself
a little
some
bit
flowers.
sore because we went together. He couldn't make it. We
Really?
had to turn around and go to Red Lobster at like 11 o'clock in the morning.
Have you not heard this
It's a
story?
huge fail. You know, we wrote it up as a column where I wrote I wrote a column and then he got a hold of it and just put his narrative in between, like after everything I said. Anyways, bottom line, Aaron's never tasted the sweet victory that is the nearly impossible to reach summit of Mount St. Helens. Very few people have been
the
there.
Red Lobster biscuits after summiting Mount St. Helens.
So we planned to go. This is like 12 years ago. It was a while
It was
ago.
a bit ago.
And we were kind of talking about going up, and Jesse Smith, local photographer, had 2 like trail permits or whatever to go up. And then he backed out at the last minute, gave them to us, and we're like, "Yeah,
there was a
sure."
typhoon.
Because there was a typhoon coming in.
Oh, was he scared?
Yeah,
Yeah,
everybody
and
was.
so we get up to the ranger station, like on the way up there to pick up passes or sign in, and the guy's like, "You guys know what's going on, right?" And we're like, "Yeah, we'll be fine." And he's like, "Whatever, guys." And so we made it. How far? It's like a 5-mile hike.
It's not
up.
as far as we thought when we turned around. And yeah, on my second, did I mention I've summited before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did I mention? Okay, I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that. Yeah, we didn't make it very far.
You got to tell me how to go about that because that's always been something I wanted
You
to
just
do.
you just walk up the hill. It's
Is that
not
it? Is there a
hard.
trail? Or
If the
Well, you
weather's
gotta
fine,
get
you'll be
you got to
okay.
get a permit.
is there a trail or you just walk up the side of it?
Yeah,
there's
there's kind of a trail. I mean, it's not really a trail, but
We couldn't see the trail because it was snowing and it was extremely cold and foggy and like
Aaron,
raining,
you went in the
snowing.
Aaron was crying.
It was,
Tears freezing down his cheek.
yes, out of the 2 of us, I am clearly the one least equipped to walk up a steep hill.
It's a physical
Clearly.
fitness problem.
Clearly, yeah.
But no, it's
After
not
our-
hard. You just have to get a permit, and
Yeah.
the permits are a little harder to come by in the summer, but that's when you want to do it.
Yeah.
I'd suggest finding a time when there's still snow up there because it's easier to get a foothold in that than the ash and the pumice and stuff. If you go up at that time, your feet kind of just sink in, and it's a real slog, but the snow's not too bad.
It's actually hummus.
Yeah.
I actually met the people.
I did it in a pair of Air Jordans, if you must know.
Which
I was still a
ones?
smoker then as well.
Which year?
Yeah.
Which Air Jordans?
I don't have them anymore because I ruined them, but they were the black
Ones,
with the white
threes.
soles. I don't know.
Never mind.
No, I'm not sure.
I actually met
Ruined them though.
I met 2 of the guys that work on the volcano rescue team up there, and
good.
they were on that rescue that we had in the paper like a couple weeks ago, where the guys
snowmobiles?
drove off the cliff.
Yeah.
And then they were on the rescue of that guy last spring that fell in, tried to climb out, fell back in.
Yeah,
died.
that one was
Yeah,
horrible.
I talked to one of the volcano guys. He was like this little Australian guy, and he's like, "Yeah, gosh, should have just stayed in there."
Yeah, I mean, he really should have. That one was super sad because they amazingly did not die when the cornice broke,
Yeah.
and then tried to climb out and did die.
Yeah.
So.
It was
But we've
cool to
really
meet those
stolen
guys,
your
though.
story here. It must have been nice.
No, yeah, I was gonna segue back to it.
Good,
Just give me
good.
time. Give
Oh,
me
yeah.
time. Just on a little tangent here, but anyway, I got in contact with these people. Well, first I tried to contact people who snowmobile on Mount St. Helens through Facebook, and I connected with the St. Helens Snowmobiling Club, which was actually somewhere in Michigan. Come to find out, so that was a dud. But then I found the St. Helens Track Riders, which is actually on the Mount St. Helens. And they are just a club. They meet every week, and they just go up together for safety purposes. And they will go all the way to the top of the mountain. They'll even drive. Some of them even drive down in the crater, which I think is pretty badass.
Yeah, that was
Badass.
in your reporting, and I almost questioned it, but if they told you that.
They told me, yeah.
I'd never heard of that before.
Yeah. And then the volcano rescue team guys told me they'd go in there and camp in the crater.
Oh, wow.
Pretty cool, yeah. And then so I got in contact, and I was like, when would be a good time I can come up and maybe take some photos with you guys, interview a couple of you. And they told me about this blind ride they do every year, and I guess they've been doing it for 20 years. And it's just a really cool experience, and I had a lot of fun. I got to interview some of the students, and it's a really insanely cool experience to them, even though, the positive of going and riding a snowmobile on a mountain would probably be the views and stuff and the side of it. But they experience everything so much more with all their other senses. It was really cool to talk to them and see that. And a lot of them knew a lot about engines and stuff, and every time one fired up, they knew exactly what kind of engine it was. It was just really cool to see how in tune they were with the rest of their senses, not having their eyesight.
The story you told on the kid with the degenerative eye disease who got to go up higher than anyone else did,
Yeah,
still
he
can't
went-
see it. That was cool.
Yeah, he went up about I think halfway towards up the summit. Most of the kids they stopped kind of at the base camp at the Marble Mountain Snow Park, and where there's a view of the mountain, and the adults just kind of hung out, and most of the kids started having a snowball fight. But the more daring ones opted to go up higher, and he went up the highest. And he has childhood retinal dystrophy, which means he can see now. He has like pretty bad tunnel vision, but he can see like if he looks in a certain direction. But he will lose his eyesight the older he gets.
God,
so
that sucks.
Yeah, but it was cool to talk to him because he told me about this bucket list he has of all these cool things he has and how he's gonna remember this forever. And he got to go up there and see all the different mountains. So I was excited for him. It was really cool.
And you did not only photograph this, but you wrote the story.
I did, yeah.
Good for you. It was good.
Thank you. I was pretty proud of that story, actually. I had a lot of fun writing it, and I was really happy with my product when I was finished with it.
Look at you branching out, doing new things.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, it was on this podcast when I threw
When
out
you-
that,
yeah, you
when I
said
threw
you-
out that comment where I was like, yeah, I think I could write an article.
And you've written a couple now. He's working on another one on Morton Roads, based on a complaint from someone. Hope to talk to the Morton mayor about that eventually.
Yeah, so when Mayor, if you listen, email me back.
He doesn't. I can
Email me back.
assure you, he does not. But no, I'm proud of Kody. Kody's done good. I think it's easy to forget he came in here as a teenage sports assistant, and he's worked his way up to a professional photographer who can write.
Teenage photographer.
That's not easy to do. It's not
I'm
easy to
not
do.
a teenager anymore,
No,
Aaron.
he's no longer. a
Congratulations.
teenager.
I'm 20 years old.
Yeah.
Can I get photographer who can write on my office in the sticker?
Yeah.
Unrelated, but Owen and I were discussing world affairs and the possibility of needing, American soldiers in the near future. Thanks a lot, Kody. We're going to appreciate your efforts. When that time comes.
God, I'm like, I know, I'm peak Marine too. I'm exactly who they want.
I just tell you, Kody, they're going to take one look at you and your draft number's getting called, my friend.
God.
This guy's
They
from
have
Adna. He can fight.
Blonde hair, blue eyes. Sign him up.
I don't believe anything.
No, yeah, and they have all my information too because my dad made me give it to the recruiter outside Walmart when I was 14.
Oh, man.
They've been texting me ever since. They want me pretty bad.
It's you specifically they want, too.
Yeah,
I guess they thought that was my ceiling.
I bet you there's been meetings about it.
Yeah.
How are we getting him in here?
Yeah, Pete Hegseth in the Pentagon right now. Get me Kody.
Wasn't it you that said, I bet you a couple months ago you thought you were going to get deployed to fight with the Ukrainians? Now I'm going to be on the...
Yeah, you might be on the other
I'm going
side.
to be on the
No,
Russian
yeah.
front line trying to take Kyiv.
It is anyone's guess at this time.
Yeah,
So,
who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was fun while it lasted, my journalism career,
Yeah. I hope it doesn't happen,
Yeah.
I'll send photos from the field if it happens for you
Yeah,
guys.
I think you're going to be sending photos from storming the field in Pullman.
My 10-year-old son learned about the draft because I told him about it. Now you have to sign up for it and everything. It was very traumatic for him. He was just like, so I'm going to have to fight? It's like, well, you're 10. You'll be fine.
Not for a while.
Yeah, he's 18. Grown man.
Yeah, a lot could change between now and then.
Yeah, everything will be better.
All right, next item. Speaking of politics, property with iconic politically charged Uncle Sam billboard in Napavine on the market for $2.5 million.
Can we purchase that for a cronline.com advertisement?
Wait. I just want to run this by you guys.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Chronicle building goes for sale.
Uh-huh.
Uncle Sam billboard goes for sale.
Connect the dots.
Sus. Sus.
A lot of people are talking.
People are talking. People are talking. Yeah.
This is conservatism just leaving the county? Or
Highly
what?
suspicious.
Yeah. What?
Well,
Do
I'm
the,
not going to connect the dots.
The Brian Windhorst wagging your fingers in the air. Why would they do that? Why would they put the Uncle Sam? The Chronicle building went for sale 2 weeks ago. Now the Uncle Sam sign's for sale. Why would they do that?
This is turning into
All I'm going to
episode
say,
of
gents,
InfoWars.
is jet fuel doesn't melt steel. If you catch my drift.
I just said this is turning into InfoWars. You hit me with that.
I don't even want to talk about what that sign's done to the frogs. Yeah.
Aliens built the sign.
You can get a great view of the chemtrails from that sign. Located at 1393 Rush Road, Napavine, the fenced business area is occupied by the I-5 Motorsports golf cart dealership, which currently leases the land. The asking price for the 3.54 acre lot, which includes 2,800 square foot and 384 square foot buildings within the fenced business area, is $2.5 million. The lot's assessed value is $2.3 million, according to Lewis County's parcels website. And then there's also another chunk of like commercial, not undeveloped land for $13 million or so.
Yes. Yeah, 1336 Rush Road property is also for sale if you want to just buy the whole area, open it for development, whatever you want to do. Yeah, $13 million, but that's assessed at $9 million.
But a cool, probably a cool 15 mil takes the whole shebang.
Who knows?
And then all of a sudden you're a magnate, a landlord, or
I don't know.
the
Are you looking into it?
a member of the landed gentry.
The Monopoly man.
That one is intriguing to me. Like whoever buys that sign and what the direction of the message is in the future. Like, man, what an opportunity. Can't wait to see cronline.com right across the top there.
If you could put anything on the sign, what would it be?
Cronline.com. I already told you. Both sides.
The News Dump logo.
Pick up that website traffic.
Cody just puts his Instagram handle and DMs are open on there.
For what?
Just for whatever.
Yeah, okay, yeah, shut up.
What would you put on? Cronline?
Yeah, cronline.com. Get all that traffic.
All right.
Maybe a big QR code for your Facebook page.
I would put a QR code, and then you click the QR code, and it just takes you to a website, and the website opens up, and there's a link, and you click the link, and it just says, fuck.
Okay, fine.
Didn't Kanye do that?
I don't think that's what his said, buddy.
I think it would be pretty funny if the billboard just dramatically shift to very left-wing commentary now.
It's right-wing. It's the opposite InfoWars. Jet fuel can melt steel beams.
Here's the proof.
That would be pretty good. Anything else you want to hit the...
Just can't wait to see all this unfold. Just laid bare what the man is planning.
Uncle Sam's for sale. Why would he do that? All right, we'll be back in a minute.
Hi, this is Jeff and Julie from Fairway Lanes.
Jeff and I met JSIC of Summit Funding at our bowling center, so when we fell in love with this community and it was time to relocate, we knew we would be calling Summit Funding.
They understand that everyone has a unique situation when buying a home.
He had already helped 2 of our employees get into their own homes. The Summit Funding team exceeded our expectations. It was a seamless experience with great communication from his whole team.
Thank you to Summit Funding for making our buying experience special and memorable.
All right, we're back. It's time for segments, and first up is Tales from the Takes page. We got a call from Julia McDonald. Churches tackle homelessness with Shalom Village Safe Parking Pilot Project. A couple years ago, with housing costs going up and more people living without shelter, members of Harrison Square, Westminster Presbyterian Church, Gathered Church, and the Chehalis United Methodist Church brainstormed ways to help. They realized the county had no transitional housing, which is places people can live while waiting for affordable housing to open. So they formed a nonprofit group called Hope Housing Collaborative of Lewis County. And this was a good column and a good look at how people become homeless and the idea that it really could just happen to anyone with a few bad breaks. I liked it.
Yeah, she did a rundown of non-vagrants that are suffering from homelessness, a tax accountant with a traumatic brain injury, 57-year-old with mental health issues, military veteran with PTSD, breadwinner whose medical bills left them without enough money to pay rent, elderly widow who doesn't have enough Social Security. I did appreciate her putting a different face on it. I feel like those individuals will often get lost in this debate. So, and good project over there, too, that we've reported on before.
Yeah, that's all I had on the opinion page.
That's it? You're not gonna take pot shots at Brian Mickey's follow-up column, bringing out the sweetness in marriage?
No, do you want to? Do you want to describe it to me?
He identifies very clearly and early in this column why you are not married, sir.
Go on.
He says, he's quoting the speaker, that it's possible for you to change the culture of your family. The very first move is get rid of sarcasm in your marriage. It's a cancer that will eat your marriage alive. For someone angry and unable to express it, sarcasm is a tiny bit of truth wrapped in anger and delivered in a little joke or cutting remark. Do you feel attacked, Aaron?
Here's what I like about that idea. And here are my concerns or fears about it.
Oh, here we go.
Aaron, can I do my research before we talk about this?
I can tell you are worried about this. What if I researched a little more?
Maybe you should reach out to someone in your life and say, I realize I communicate with sarcasm towards you. I want to stop.
What would make you feel better about it?
And then he goes on to say, if that does not work, tell your significant other, very genuinely, calm down.
Is that for real?
No. Brian Mickey would never write such a thing. His column's really good.
Lewis County divorce rate skyrockets.
He also suggested taking the 10% challenge. Try these tips to improve your marriage and your life.
Go on.
spend 10% more time with God, reading, praying, listening each day. Aaron, that would be 10% total for you. Practice being 10% more romantic towards and flirty with your mate.
I mean, have you seen this mustache?
I have, and it is offensive. I can't believe Kody hasn't said anything about it.
I've been trying to be nice.
Disgusting, and I'm pretty sure it's against the employee handbook.
He looks like Ted Lasso. I mean,
It's ridiculous. Coming here trying to be taken seriously. Be 10% more appreciative.
You know what? Maybe you should be 10% more appreciative of.
Shoot for 10% more patience. Pray with, for, and over your mate. 10% more. So I want to see you out there with that owl on your knees. Yeah. 10% more sleep. You try that.
I get plenty of sleep, my man.
It's a good column. Mitkey's columns are good, and I've enjoyed the marriage series.
It is. It's as we said before. Obviously, it's not my thing, but I appreciate that Mitkey is writing it. I think a lot of people are probably getting something out of it.
And then John Braun, going soft on criminals makes it even harder to overcome shortage of officers.
Do you want to talk more about Mitkey? You know the 10%. Did you show this to your wife? And she's like,
"No, I didn't.
I have been putting up with 10% less of your shit every day for 10 years."
Well, the sarcasm thing in the Mitkey column really hit me hard because I have a hard time, as you gents know, communicating any other way but with sarcasm.
I have a hard time communicating without sarcasm.
You're going in the wrong direction, sir. And you need 15%. Jerk.
What's Braun up to?
No, I just read the headline. Going soft on criminals makes it even harder to overcome shortage of officers. Just criticizing some legislation that.
Let me guess, he's upset about the Dems.
Well,
Right
I mean,
there in
as
the first
the
line.
head of the Republicans at the state, I don't think he's too happy with them. Like,
Why doesn't he ever write a column about like a nice lunch he had or something?
I don't think that's
Going to
what his
marriage
column's
counseling.
about. You want me
Column
to
could be about
suggest it?
anything.
And
Yeah.
Ask John Braun what he thinks of the cuisine up there at the Capitol.
I think John Brown.
It's really
eats
good.
lunch.
I've had it before.
There's really good food within walking distance to the Capitol. There's all kinds of good spots.
Cafeteria's not bad.
All right, whatever you say.
Um,
What would I know?
I ran this Don Brunel column. New tariffs could hit Washington farmers hard, and he announced
People were
it.
furious about
It's
it.
really hard to thread the needle on a tariffs column these days because when you write it, the tariffs might be in effect, but by the time it publishes, they might be gone again.
True.
But you don't want to take it down because then the tariffs could be back on. Like, you don't know.
Yeah,
So it wasn't
yeah.
the most timely because it referenced something that happened just before deadline. But yeah, there's that column too. That's about it for the Tales of the Takes page.
Yeah, there's that's a good bit. All right. Let's see. Do you want to talk about the roof doctor? You know what? If you want your roof to be 10% less leaky, call the roof doctor. It'll actually be
You mean zero leaks, my friend.
100% less leaky. Visit theroofdoctor.com where they ask, is your roof under the weather? Even if there's only a 10% chance of rain, that could be a few drops getting in your house, damaging, the construction of your home. You can visit their site, get a free estimate, schedule an appointment, get their contact info. Maybe you're having an emergency. Check it all out there. The Roof Doctor in Chehalis awaits your house call. Give them a call at 360-736-0246 or 669-2099. They serve everywhere. And they got solar, too.
Excellent. If you want, I can go through some of the reviews, but I feel like I've already read them all at some point.
I think so. People's Champion of the Week. Do you guys know there's a Chick-fil-A coming to the Centralia station?
Chick-fil-A, the People's Champion of the Week.
Sure.
People were very excited about that Chick-fil-A.
Oh, no.
Top of the line.
Our commenters
Winco,
excited about fast
Chick-fil-A,
food?
Chipotle,
A
all right
chain
there.
restaurant coming in?
Dare I say, Centralia is on the come up, my friends. It's going to be a thriving metropolis in no time.
My favorite, I've mentioned this in the podcast so many times, but when there'll be like, there's a new storefront opening up, and somebody be like, well, we need something nice and local. And they'll be like, well, what do you guys want to see? And the first answer is always Olive Garden or some shit like that.
Franchise can be locally owned.
I mean, sure.
Maybe Olive Garden's next. Who knows?
No,
Place is going to be hopping over there.
Applebee's has always been there for me, man.
yeah, Applebee's is fine.
I like the art
Chick-fil-A.
in Applebee's. When they moved in there, or maybe when they were remodeling, they asked us for a bunch of photos.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then-
they're all sports photos from like
Yeah,
20 years ago.
But we were like, yeah, but you're going to have to like pay for them. And then we never really heard anything back. And then sure enough, when I go to Applebee's, they've just acquired them every other way. They just went to the athletic departments or something. They are quite dated.
It's just wild, the jerseys kids used to wear.
Yeah.
A lot of that like Dazzle shimmer sheet stuff. Yeah.
Just like checkered for some reason.
Yeah, because they were sick.
People had class back then, Cody.
I guess, yeah.
Before 9/11.
What I know.
Yeah, that was when uniforms stopped being cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's when everything stopped being cool.
Mm-hmm.
America.
When was the last time you guys ate at Chick-fil-A?
When I was briefly working down in Clark County, there was one near the office that I would hit up every once in a while. So it's been about 5 years.
That's the last time?
Yeah.
When was the last time you
God,
ate it?
no, that 7 years.
Oof.
Time just goes.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
I think a couple months ago.
One up in Lacey?
Yeah. Every time I'm around Lacey, I try to make a stop.
See, I've noticed in
do love Chick-fil-A.
more progressive enclaves, such as Thurston County, the comments are not so pro Chick-fil-A. There was a lot of people that were not happy Chick-fil-A was coming to Thurston County.
Well, Thurston County, aren't they getting one over where, what was the Japanese steakhouse?
Yeah, they were supposed to get one there at
Fujiyama.
some point. I don't remember the latest reporting on that, if it's still happening, but that was underway at some point.
The last 2 times I've eaten at Chick-fil-A have been at like extremely early on a Sunday morning flying out of Nashville at the Nashville
it's
airport.
Perfect, good food.
Incorrect. They're not open on Sunday.
Oh,
rules don't apply at an airport, my man.
I bet you they're not open on Sundays.
I doubt it.
The Chick-fil-A in the Nashville airport is indeed open on Sundays.
He's really holding on to this one, Cody.
He's full of shit.
He's been caught red-handed.
Why would I lie about eating Chick-fil-A at a Nashville
That's
airport?
what me and Cody want to know.
This one was. I didn't think they'd be serving food at 4 a.m. either, but here we are.
Did you get a chicken biscuit?
Yes.
Good.
I got a chicken
good,
biscuit
wasn't
and
it?
then like the breakfast thing. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's really good. It's not as good as Bojangles if you're from the South.
I don't
Bojangles.
even know what the hell you're talking
It's
about.
another chicken spot called Bojangles. It's really
Not
nice.
Zaxby's.
It's similar though. Yeah.
I had Raising Cane's the first time when I went to Vegas. It's
You guys ever hear
pretty
Hardee's?
incredible.
Hardee's?
No.
Yeah, Hardee's is just
Hardee's is Carl's Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's one in Navavine, dude.
No, Carl's Jr. is just Hardee's. It's not the same. I'm pretty sure Hardee's was first.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. Hey, 10% less sarcasm. Douchebag.
Jeez.
You ready for Siren's Banger of the Week?
Oh yeah, we had some contenders this week.
So the one I threw on there kind of encompasses 2 stories that could each be Siren's Banger of the Week. Man accused of shining laser at State Patrol aircraft, searching for Adna burglary suspect charged with a felony who was later found in a hot tub. So the State Patrol was looking for a burglar and sent up the drone. And some guy was out there.
It's not a drone. It's an aircraft. I'm pretty sure.
Is it really an airplane?
Yeah, pretty sure.
All right. Some guy was out minding his own business, and he saw what he thought was a drone. So he fired up the green laser he had with him at the thing in the air. Anyway, the State Patrol didn't like this very much, so they contacted the guy who was hanging out in his car, who was identified
They literally
as
just followed the laser. It's very effective in identifying
technology.
who
It
is
can
sending it.
do anything. It was 45-year-old Kenneth Parkinson. He admitted to shining the laser because he thought it was a drone. Apparently, that's a crime. The charge is a Class C felony, punished by up to 5 years in prison. Meanwhile, the guy they were looking for was found in somebody's hot tub out on Lincoln Creek. That guy, Zach Marin of Elma, was booked on a first-degree burglary, criminal trespass, theft of a firearm, and unlawful possession of a firearm charges. That's a lot.
Yeah, we have an update on him at cronline.com today, too. Geographically, I meant to pull up a map and look. So he was wreaking havoc on Bunker Creek Road, and it was kind of a phenomena online because all of the Adna Facebook groups were popping off. Like, I just saw him, or my neighbor saw him, and then he was arrested on Lincoln Creek Road. Is there forest land you got to go through?
No, they connect.
Oh, they connect. Okay.
Yeah, if you take
So he just walked on the road.
You go to the end of Bunker Creek, and then a dead end, so you can take a right on Ingalls Road, and that drops you onto Lincoln Creek.
I
Okay.
think so, yeah.
I've never taken that before. Might be a nice drive.
It's a nice little.
Yeah, you can loop all the way back up to Centralia.
Local crime tourism. Maybe that's what we need to do with our vehicles.
It's on your way back from the Brooklyn Tavern.
Yeah.
You can hang a right and go to Adna.
Okay. I've got one other Sirens banger of the week. This one I have deep empathy for. Glenoma man faces felony after allegedly damaging Lewis County PUD porta potty. The reason this gets written up, because it is a super minor crime, is because they charged it as a felony. So this is a 19-year-old kid, 19-year-old man, legally speaking. Apparently drove into this porta potty and accidentally left some mail behind. Cost to replace porta potty $1,000. It was found on its side with damage on the front and the top. This 19-year-old, Ethan Chenoweth, was contacted by a deputy He said he had no idea how the mail got there. Then the deputy reportedly asked Ethan what he thought the game camera footage from the PUD would show. Noting in his report that the mention of a game camera was in fact a ruse. No camera was posted.
I thought they're not allowed to do that.
But Chenoweth allegedly then said he did hit the porta potty with his truck and thought it was funny, but he did not mean to leave his mail on the ground.
No shit.
He's lucky it wasn't a global septic porta potty.
I just want to say
his truck would have bounced right off.
Yeah, absolutely.
His truck would be totaled.
So I just want to cry into the abyss. Whomst among us has not driven their car into something they shouldn't have. You know,
because it's funny. Because it's funny.
circumstances.
Yeah, because it's funny.
I mean, I'll admit,
yeah.
when I was this kid's age, moved to Centralia, and for whatever dumb reason, I was riding around with my roommate, and he thought it would be funny to hit a couple garbage cans. He ended up shattering his light and stuff, but no reason, just stupid.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah, and I think he should be punished, but I think this kid. Put him on the hook for the $1,000 for the porta potty. Like, not a felony. Come on,
Send him
don't
to
give him a
jail
felony
over this.
record.
You know, there's
not a lot to do
there's
in
a
East
lot of
County.
talk.
I was just going to say, listen, as a young man growing up in Lewis County, you got to get creative with
I don't condone it, but at the same time, like let's not felonize this man.
You know, there's been a lot of conjecture about the boys will be boys phenomena. I think this one safely qualifies. That kid ran over. Come on.
Well, make him pay to fix
Yeah,
it.
pay for a new
$1,000
one.
is
You know what? No, make him clean the porta potty.
Yeah, that's fine too.
Yeah. You'll think twice
Maybe
about
cut
it.
an ad for Global Septic.
Yeah.
I already tried.
I'm Zach Marin, and when I'm running over porta potties, I always aim for anything other than a global septic sanitation station.
Like I'm saying, it's got merit.
All right, Shayla's Outfitters.
Oh man, I was already telling you. We ran into Kelly the other day, and I was complimenting her on her most recent ads that appeared within the Chronicle. Specifically, that the first page, and this is the Lucky Savings sale.
Are you going to show me?
This is for sale through March 19th. The lead image on the first advertisement, I believe there are 4 or 5, just 2 Smith & Wesson handguns facing each other, $75 off, proudly made in the USA. Save $75. You're basically making money by buying a gun in this scenario.
God, you're right. They are just 2 guns pointed directly at each other.
Also get 15% off all in-stock ammo from a number of providers. 30% off of Carib rods. 20% off all in-stock Skechers if you want to get a new one.
They have owl food.
They do. Got they got all sorts of stuff. Got like a toy gun for the kids, only $18.95. I'm not going to make the same joke again. A couple dog houses for sale. I was real mean last time that came up. I apologize. And then, lots of sale on boots and things like that. I also saw on their Facebook page there's a smelt run tomorrow that has been approved by the Department of Fish and Wildlife.
That sounds cool.
Got to get a net to do that. You got to get a fishing license. You can do both of those at Chehalis Outfitters. They will get you ready to go, and you can go fish out some of those. I'm going to say delicious tiny fish. I've eaten one before, and I didn't think it was all that great, but, some people like it.
What if you, pickled them?
And then, it'd be remiss if I did not point out in the past week that Kelly and the team over at Chehalis Outfitters has just been cracking skulls when it comes to shoplifters.
Yeah.
Oh, man. She's got a new one up from about 50 minutes ago. Thieves like to be Facebook famous. Few photos of this gentleman who apparently took something that didn't belong to him. She was telling us last week we were talking about the video where the guy came in and switched a really expensive pair of shoes into a box for a cheaper pair of shoes. Mm-hmm. Came back and brought the shoes back, said it was a mistake after he was blown up on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Has anybody tried that with switching a really cheap gun with a better gun?
I don't think that
walking out.
I don't think that would work. But yeah, and then on March 9th they had a bunch of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Seems like something they have to pretty much be vigilant to get at all times. Is someone just wandering in and stealing?
Yeah,
that would be maddening.
It's bizarre that people will do that and then see it on Facebook and bring it back as if they hadn't been following and seen it happening to so many other people.
Yeah, I guess you just think that you're going to be the one that gets away with it. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have Kelly on maybe next week, but definitely soon to talk about the results of the Giving Hunger, the boot sale, the truckload boot sale.
Yeah.
They've done 2 in the calendar year with the $5 from each purchase going towards the Lewis County Food Bank Coalition. So we'll see what that grand total is.
All right. I don't have any Facebook comments of the week.
What a shame.
I know. I could pull some up if you want. I'm sure there's plenty of...
No, it's old to discuss this at this point, but just use one point as a highlight here. We had a write-up on the Lewis County Republican scholarships that they give out. And so we thought, okay, they submitted as a news release. We might as well post that up. And then we also saw, it wasn't submitted, but a pancake sale or a pancake breakfast for the Lewis County Democrats. I mean, I want to say this thing was 6 sentences long. Hundreds of comments, everyone more hateful than the last. Like, it was a pancake breakfast.
Pancake breakfast.
And, like, I was so depressed looking at that. It's kind of in line with, like, some of the recent protests we've had and how irate and angry some people of the conservative nature will get. It goes both ways, I'm sure, but I just don't understand it. I don't understand getting that worked up over something. It's news. It's something that's happening. It's not an affront to you because the people that are conducting it don't have the same beliefs as you, and I don't understand it. And I hate the tone of many of our comments these days.
Yeah.
It's almost
Agreed.
like we have a problem with discourse in this country, Aaron. I'm not really willing to go there yet, but it seems like we might have a problem.
You know, why don't you try to be 10% less stupid?
I can try. I'll do my best.
No, I agree with you 100%.
It's
The
just been
comment
nasty
section
out there
is
lately.
every time it's so bad.
It's never been
depressing.
It's never been great, but it seems like we're at a low point at the moment.
Yeah, it's quite poor. Cody, how do you feel about the discourse?
No comment.
Cody's
Okay.
just here for the vibes, man.
Yeah, good vibes, guy.
We got a few things coming up. Owen's got a story update on the Coal Creek project that we've written about before with Bob Russell and company.
Yeah, that's cool.
We've got some write-up and photos of some joint exercises by area fire departments at Napavine.
You like those, don't you?
Full story on the Tesla station damage that you're so concerned about, Aaron. And then, like we alluded to, there's a lot of crime in the news this week. So you're likely going to be reading about some of that as well.
All right. I guess we can wrap her up there. In closing, we're sponsored by Summit Funding, Sheila's Outfitters, and the Roof Doctor. Leave a review and rating on Apple Podcast if you want. Or send us an email at chroniclenewsdump@gmail.com.